Ah, oh, that's hot. That's hot.
What up, investors? Ken here from the Dyslexic Investor, and today you're going to be looking at Virgin Galactic Holdings, also known as ticker symbol SPCE, and this is the Richard Branson's little project on bringing people in commercial travel into space. So we're just going to jump ahead to the vision. Their mission is basically just trying to get people into space, make it, commercialize it, and so forth. So what's behind this? So it's basically like this little this plane, these two planes. It's basically two planes connected with glue, and you can kind of see here in the picture, it's two planes. In the middle plane, at like a really high ceiling of like 55,000, 60,000 feet, detaches, and then the rocket booster plane takes off, and it is able to go into orbit. I just clicked on vision, didn't I? Goes into orbit, so it makes a beautiful scenic view on the very top here. So we can see, where was that picture I saw? Here's a better picture. Here's the two planes that take it up. This is the rocket that detaches. Here's the rocket that detaches. This engine turns on, and it boom flies into space and takes pretty pictures. So how much is it going to cost to get a seat on here? So it's about, I think they said around $250,000. So $250,000 to get a seat to be able to go to the orbit of space. If it's safe, like, and you had the money, you gotta go YOLO on that. It would be pretty fantastic to have experience. That's a lot of money though, but Richard Branson's your guy to be able to bring it to Vision. So that being said, this is actually a publicly traded stock, and its IPO has been somewhat been on a honeymoon suite. You can kind of see here a lot of articles coming out about how Virgin Galactic soars as investors' interest rivals Tesla, and that's just using clickbait for those news articles, honestly, because Tesla's has been off to the races. We've been more and more videos about that coming out. So Morgan Stanley, a couple other big huge firms are saying the reason behind its overall thing, it's been on like a honeymoon phase between Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse, UBS. These are all these big banks. They're saying, hey, there aren't any earnings yet, but the potential for earnings is going to be great. One of the analysts says that the case is for $60, so more than 250% from here. So the potential of being at $60, I'm not 100% sure. Like, it's currently basically a little bit under 20. I think it's at 17. We'll look at the chart here in a second. 17 and a half. It got up to like nearly 20. So they're saying 250% more from here, an increase in a short period of time due to the overall overwhelm looking at this new basically way of traveling. It's just going to be a different way for people to experience, people who have the cash, who people have honestly the cojones to be able to do something like this. I wouldn't want to be doing like something like this. So it's gone up about 85% since its IPO, which is that's normal. It's been very stagnant because it's been very quiet because it had a crash some wise times ago. So we're gonna go at what is SPCEE. So it's kind of see it here. It hasn't had official earnings until February 25th. So that's a little bit further out there. We have a price target at 60. So we're just gonna put that up here. That's gonna be a huge jump from where we're at now. So we're just not gonna look at that. This is kind of the overwhelming skepticism and speculation, honestly, of people thinking that this is going to really be a huge takeoff. So we're going to go ahead and put another target here. We're going to do at or below here. Again, it's closed at $17.21, high of 1984. This is going to be very difficult to trade because there is not much data behind it. So if we keep on looking through here, it has had a kind of a really stagnant ride. It has had earnings, so it's been a very strange inception of an IPO here. But a lot of praise from a lot of the big banks. Does that mean that it's a potential buy? Honestly, I don't think so. I think this is a huge speculative play, and a lot of people probably who were short needed to get out of it. So I think I want to see if we can find any short data on this on Virgin Galactic. Yeah, there's not nearly as much short-term data here. Again, everything's pretty much positive. There isn't much data on its profitability. It's just showing that it has the potential of growing. They have had successful missions. They are completely attuned to being the safe way to travel into space. So that being said, would you be getting on this spacecraft even if you had, let's say, the Richard Branson picked you from an Instagram prize or a poll, and you won the prize of being able to get a free flight? Would you do it? And I would like some other people do it first. But that being said, we can look at some of the other data. You can see that it was extremely on the daily chart, just the last beginning of this 2020, the 15th, it just came way overbought, and it had to come down a little bit. But again, with these huge IPOs, this huge love and emphasis of new way of traveling, a new luxury thing, a new graphic in space of just being able to have this at our fingertips is pretty fantastic. Would I speculate on this? I think you kind of missed the boat or the rocket, for lack of a better terms. This might be coming back just a little bit more. We'll see how the overall market reacts early next week. You kind of see my price target at 14.20. This would need to come down here, create a base, but I have a feeling that what we're looking at here might happen here. So it's going to pop up and then come back down, come down strong with a really rough landing. Tried to maybe one of the wheels fell off or something, and then it just kind of comes down for a rough landing, kind of consolidates, potentially goes higher or lower once this kind of can shape up. But moving averages are extremely overextended. Again, this could be another Tesla in the sense of it just keeps on going into space. Again, the pun intended. But yeah, I'd like to know what everyone else is thinking about this stock. Like, I wanted to see on how popular it is on Robinhood. I usually look at was it SPEC? Boop. All right. It's actually where do I see that on Robinhood? Not really. It's not the most. It's about 40,000. Okay, so 40,000, and that's not that many people who like it on Robinhood. But we'll see. All right, for the key takeaways for this stock, it has run up so much. The momentum is basically through the roof, going to the moon, going into the solar system, and the momentum and volume are spiking. This could be a chance on buying this stock on a pullback. What I would be doing, I'll be looking for the price target when it broke out around the $12, $13, $14 level. If it comes back there, it kind of builds a base. Maybe buy a couple of shares, and by literally buying a couple of shares, I mean like 5, 6 or something. Again, this is only going to be a $14 stock. I don't want to speculate too much. I want to put like a quarter point, 25 basis points of the portfolio into this. This is a completely speculative play if I ever buy this, and it could jump to the $60 that we talked about, and some of the analysts from Morgan Stanley and all those other very large banks, Credit Suisse and so forth. But that being said, this could just kind of pop off, pull back, and then fizzle off. On just blowing its top up here, and it needs to kind of produce because it has no earnings, so it's going to be hard to kind of judge this on book value. So that being said, invest at your own risk. Again, my key takeaways is this most likely will fizzle off when the market cools off, and then people kind of lose sight of this. But they need to perform and I start seeing some revenue come in and so forth to have me invest in the company. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.